everyone. This month we're going to do a flow routine, which means we're just going to flow with our breath. So today let's begin in standing mountain pose. With the feet hip width apart, you can roll the shoulders back and down, and keeping a slight bend in the knees, just start to ground down through the balls of your feet and your heels. Maybe even wiggling the toes a little bit. Just take a moment to feel the connection of your feet with the floor. Standing nice and tall, stacking your shoulders over your hips over your knees. And just take a moment to connect with your breath now. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. And as usual, we'll practice a little bit of pranayama or breath work to begin. The one we're going to do today is called the Kapalabhati breath, and it is really good for energizing and warming the body, and also for clearing the mind, the frontal cortex of the brain. So what I'm going to get you to do is just with your eyes closed here, inhale passively. And as you exhale, just gently draw your belly button in towards your spine. Inhale passively through the nose. And exhale passively, draw your belly button towards your spine. So just do a few here on your own. And then you can release and just breathe through your nose in and out normally. And gently fluttering the eyes open now, standing at the back of your mat, with the feet hip width apart. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, swan dive forward. Bending the knees as much as you need to. Just pausing here for a second. Allow gravity to pull your shoulders and spine down towards the ground. Deeply inhaling and exhaling through the nose. This is called the Ujjayi breath, and I invite you to try to stay with your Ujjayi breath throughout the practice. And starting to walk the hands up your shins, we'll come into Ardha Uttanasana, or halfway lift. And here you can draw the shoulders away from your ears, press the tailbone back and the crown of the head forward. And then exhale, fold. Bending the knees slightly, inhale, sweep up, look up. And exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, let's walk the hands up the shins to halfway lift. And exhale, fold. These are called sun salutations. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, swan dive forward. And we'll do two more. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep up, look up. And And exhale, dive forward. That's it. One more. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale, sweep up, look up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Now let's inhale to halfway lift. And exhale to fold. And again, we'll just hang here. You can actually cross your arms now into ragdoll and sway a little side to side. In through the nose and out through the nose with your breath. Remember to release those toes, wiggle them even a little bit, and root down through the balls of your feet and your heels. And then coming back to stillness, we'll slowly relax the hands down to the ground. You can flutter the eyes open and then start to walk yourself out into a downward facing dog. And so here, keeping the hands spread nice and wide apart, start to press through the base of the thumbs and the knuckles of the first fingers. And just breathe a few deep ujjayi, victorious breaths right into the lower belly. Spreading the shoulders nice and wide. And pressing the heels down and the hips up. Now let's inhale up onto the tippy toes. And exhale, slowly lower the knees all the way down to the ground. And you can tap those toes out, draw the hands underneath the shoulders. And let's do a couple rounds of cat-cow now. Inhale, gaze up. And exhale, slowly reverse, tucking the chin and the pelvis. Inhale. Gaze up and exhale to reverse. And then inhale, come back to a neutral spine. Now we'll take puppy pose for a second. So we'll reach the arms out and melt the forehead down onto the mat. So keeping the hips lifted, see if you can relax your toes, your feet, your lower legs and knees. And if you want to lift up onto tented fingers here, you can do that now. And then gently release the hands back down and inhale to lift the head off the mat, bringing the hands back under the shoulders. Let's tuck the toes again, send the hips up, downward facing dog. And then pressing through the left foot, lift the right leg up into the air for three-legged dog. And try to press equally through both hands here. And then lower that right leg down. Keep the feet hip width apart. And then lift the left leg up, three-legged dog on the other side. See if you can square those hips to the mat. And exhale, release that leg down. Again, feet hips width apart still. Now let's inhale, lift the right leg up again, three-legged dog. And this time we're going to gaze through the hands, take a big step through with that right foot, coming into low lunge. And so lifting your head slightly so your head's in line with your spine. Let's just shift a little bit here, forward and back, on that back, on the back left toes. Feeling a nice stretch through the toes, the ball of the foot, even through the arch maybe. And then we'll drop that back left knee. Now if you're on a hard floor, you can fold your mat over and rest your knee on a double mat to make it a little more padded. So here we are in low lunge. So just gliding the hips forward. If this is too much, you can use blocks here. You can hold one in each hand if you have two blocks, or if you just have one, you can put it in front of you and just add a little bit of height, whether it's on the smaller setting or the higher setting. Anjaneyasana, this one is called. And it really helps stretch out through the front of the hips. All right, now let's exhale, send the hips back and come into half splits. So flexing the front right foot, keeping a nice tall, long spine, and squaring the hips to the front of the room. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. And start to come forward now back into your low lunge. And now let's heel toe that front right foot off to a 45-degree angle, and we'll open up that hip a little bit. Now you can plant your left hand here and bring your right hand to your knee, gazing up towards the ceiling, either staying here or coming onto the knife side edge of that right foot. Gaze up, relax your jaw, your tongue, your cheeks. And then release that hand down to the floor. And again, if you have a block or even a blanket will work, you can set your block down and bring your forearms down to the block for lizard pose. And again, the tendency here is to tuck our chin. See if you can keep your head in line with your spine. And soften in any areas that you feel tension. If that's not possible where you're at with your arms down, maybe you need to bring those hands back up, and that's totally fine. Make sure you can keep a nice, smooth and steady breath. That's the most important thing. Starting to flutter those eyes open once again. Let's start to shift the hips back and heel toe that front foot forward. We'll lift up onto the back tiptoe and send the right foot all the way back into a plank. Now feel free to drop to your knees here if this is too much. We'll gaze forward. If we're on our tiptoes, start to shift a little forward and back. And then we'll all drop down to the knees and lower our belly to the floor. Now inhaling to cobra. That means lifting your head and shoulders off the ground, using your low back. Keeping your fingertips nice and light here. Exhale, lower down. And again, inhale, lift up into cobra, using your low back strength. Exhale, lower down. One more time, inhale to cobra. And exhale, lower down. Lifting the toes, pressing into your hands. Let's come on back into downward facing dog. And you can pedal out those feet. Press the heels down, the hips up. And take a couple nice ujjayi breaths. And now lifting the left leg up towards the ceiling, gaze forward between the hands and take a big step in between. And if you can't quite make it, just grab that foot and pull it a little bit forward. Seeing if you can get your knee over top of your ankle as best you can. And then again, just like on the other side, we'll shift a little forward and back, gazing forward. And then coming to stillness, let's drop that back knee in Anjaneyasana, low lunge. And again, feel free to grab a block. If you only have one, hold it in front. And if it feels like too much at any time, you can back out of it a little. Just shift your hips back to make it more comfortable, and then glide forward to find what's comfortable for you. And now we'll take that block out in front. We'll heel toe that left foot off to a 45-degree angle. We'll plant our right hand and gently press into our left knee, gazing up. And I like to close my eyes here, helping to bring the attention inwards. Really helps you to notice what's going on in your body without distraction. Relax your hands and your shoulders here. Softly bring that hand down. And now we'll move into our lizard pose on the other side here. So you can bring your block back if you want to use a block for some added height. And here you can lower the forearms down once again. And now remember, on that left foot too, you can also lift up onto the outer edge of your foot, the knife side edge of your foot. Just an option. Breathe. And working your way back up to your hands. You can take a couple more breaths here. Again, if it feels like too much, just shift the hips back a little bit and then reposition forward. And then we'll take that block out in front, heel toe the front back to center, and like last time, lift up the back knee and come into a plank. Gazing forward, either dropping to your knees or on your tiptoes, shifting forward and back. On your next shift forward, drop your knees and belly and chest. And then inhale to cobra. And exhale, lower down. Good, one more time, inhale to cobra. And exhale, lower down. Lifting the toes, pressing into those hands. Let's come back into our downward facing dog. You can pedal out those feet and then press the heels down, the hips up. Take a deep inhale. And a deep exhale. And then we'll inhale, gaze forward, and this time tiptoe the feet up in between, coming to forward fold or Uttanasana. And again, you can cross those elbows and do a little sway side to side. Taking a moment here to integrate all the work that we've just done. And every few poses, that's always a good idea, is to just give yourself a little
rest, a chance to take it all in. And coming back to stillness, let's lower the hands down towards the floor and inhale, walk the hands up the shins, halfway lift. Remember to draw those shoulder blades down your back. And then exhale to fold. Let's inhale, sweep up, look up. And exhale, dive forward. Couple more sun breaths just like that. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale, sweep up, look up. Exhale, fold. Beautiful. One more. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. This time, inhale, sweep up, look up. And draw the hands down through heart center. Closing the eyes. Tucking your bum under slightly. And just breathing. Now let's bring the hands down by our sides into mountain pose, similar to how we started. And we'll take a big step back with our right foot, coming into warrior one, or now I'm doing warrior one with my back toes pointing forward. And this is also called high lunge. You can do warrior one with your back foot on a 45-degree angle like this, if you prefer. So let's practice some balancing here. And one thing to note is if you have your eyes open here, it will be easier. So if you decide to close your eyes, just recognize that that will be a little more challenging. So relaxing your shoulders down your back, sink down to make it harder, and come up a little bit higher to make it easier. Good, opening up now to warrior two. Let's stretch those arms and shoulders apart as much as you can. Gaze over the front middle finger. If you're getting tired, you can lift the front leg, make it straighter, and then when you're ready, sink it down to find some more strengthening. Now let's drop the back hand, turn the front palm to face up, and inhale, sweep up, look up, peaceful warrior. And last one, inhale, stretch up. Let's plant that forearm, elbow on the front knee, and then reach the front arm forward. Now here you can gaze up under your shoulder if you want. This is called extended side angle. And then inhale, stretch up. Let's come back to our peaceful warrior for a second. Either bending that knee deeply to make it harder or straightening the leg a bit to make it easier. Now we'll exhale and cartwheel the hands down, stepping it back with the left foot. Let's shift forward gaze, forward on the toes. Drop to the knees, belly and chest. Inhale to cobra. And exhale, lift the toes, press back into the hands, and come to downward facing dog. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, bend the knees deeply and either walk or hop the feet up towards your hands. And inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold, and then inhale to sweep up, look up. Drawing the hands down through heart center so we can begin the other side. All right, let's take a big step back now with our left foot. Finding high lunge here on the other side,
Or if you want, warrior one, turning the back foot on a 45-degree angle. And so whatever feels best here for you, sink it down to make it harder, or stay up higher to make it easier. Maybe try closing those eyes to really challenge your balance. All right, let's open up into warrior two now. So turning the back foot on a 90-degree angle to the front foot. Sink it down, hold for a second, gazing over that front middle finger. Let's drop the back hand, turn the front palm to face up, and inhale, sweep up, look up. Relaxing that back hand. Then inhale, reach up, draw that front right elbow to the knee, and reach the left arm overhead, gazing up underneath your arm towards the ceiling. And inhale, stretch up. One more time, peaceful warrior. And exhale, let's cartwheel the hands down, stepping it back into a plank. And right away, we're gonna gaze forward, shift forward on the toes, drop the knees, belly, chest. And from here, we're gonna roll over onto our backs. And I'm going to begin a little reading. So I'll let you get comfortable on your back in our final resting pose of Shavasana. And so just allow your feet to point to either corner of the mat. You can turn your palms to face up 45 degrees from your body. And just melt down, allowing everything to sink into the mat. Just breathe here and let go fully. Notice the length of each inhale and the length of each exhale. Move into stillness here. Let all your attention come inward. Be here fully present for your experience. And I invite you to stay here for as long as you like. Take as much time as you need. Thank you for joining me today.